Hello and welcome to the Fairy Tale Journeys by Todd Bro podcast. Sit back, relax, and let's discuss all things Disney, Universal, and cruising vacations. Welcome everyone to today's podcast for Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. Thank you very much for coming back. If you're returning, if this is new to you, if you're new to my podcast, my name is Todd and welcome to my podcast. And so come along. So today's topics, we're going to talk about some new information that Disney has put out recently. But the first thing, today was actually scheduled for the day I was supposed to be returning home from a trip to Disney. I say should have. In the last podcast, I mentioned I was going to Disney, and I was going to be doing possibly doing some recordings from there. But unfortunately, due to the hurricane that just recently hit Florida, we decided on the era of caution to postpone our trip. So we did not go on the trip to Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, I do not have any trip reports at this time, but good news is we did push it back. We started a new countdown. My wife and I are now going to Disney for New Year's. We're going to be arriving on New Year's Eve on the 31st, and we'll be returning back on the 6th of January. So we will be there for New Year's. So that'll be a new opportunity, a new experience for us. We've never been at that time. So we'll report back on that. Hopefully that won't get pushed back. The hurricane, we could have went, but we just weren't sure because we were supposed to be arriving on Friday. And we weren't sure if the hurricane was going to affect the opening of the parks and or how much damage was going to happen. And the flights, if the flights were going to be open for us to travel to Orlando. So we just decided to push it back. So look for that in the future. Still staying at the same place, Coronado Springs. But we'll see. But just to kind of go over a few little things that Disney has announced recently. Or first of all, they still have, if you're looking to go in early spring to Walt Disney World, there are some discounts still available. This is especially good, like I mentioned maybe in the last podcast, for those in the Louisiana area where the kids get off of school for Mardi Gras. I've already booked one client for that week, for Mardi Gras week. Took advantage of the discount. So if you guys are looking to go to Disney for Mardi Gras and you're in the Louisiana area or the South, you get off, contact me. I can get you set up with that discount, save you a good bit of money on your hotel and our ticket package. So that's that. And of course, if you're a Disney Visa card holder, you save a little bit extra. So when you're contacting me, let me know that you are a Visa card holder, Disney Visa card holder. So and my services are free, no extra charge for me to book your vacation through me, Fairy Tale Journeys by Todd Bro. And one other thing that Disney announced, actually I think today, it's kind of stir up a little bit of not controversy, but people are talking, is the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Something brand new coming out. I had heard that this was coming. This is similar to what Universal Orlando uses or does. So basically, the Lightning Lane Premier Pass is going to be, you pay one price and you are able to basically have one ride on each of the attractions. Excuse me. Each of the attractions that have Fast Pass or Lightning Lane. So and that includes the one in the multi-pass and the single pass, which is the most sought after ones. You get one ride through of each of those rides. Um, and that is only right now, as of now, it's going to be only for the people that are staying at deluxe resorts or deluxe villas. So, yeah. So, and then that's going to start October 30th at Walt Disney World, and I believe October 24th as Disneyland. So, and the prices at launch will range between $129 to $449 per pass plus tax. And of course, the highest prices are going to be over the peak travel periods like Christmas and New Year's and that sort of thing. So it'll be the most expensive at that time. Of course, this is not replacing the Lightning Lane single pass and the multi pass. This is just in addition to that for those guests staying at deluxe and deluxe villas. So again, this is kind of like how Universal has it, except Universal, with their Unlimited Express, you get it included if you stay at one of their premier hotels, the 3 premier hotels. Of course, in this one, you're actually having to pay for it. So a lot of people are upset about that. But I guess if you have the money to stay at a deluxe resort, most of the people that do stay there and can't afford deluxe resorts have the extra income that they can afford to get this premier pass. So we'll see how it works. It's going to start up in about another week, and we'll see how it goes. Next in line, Disney started mentioning stuff about the festival, the holidays, and the Christmas events happening around Disney World this year. The Candlelight Processional for 2024 is returning. There was something about changes, but I'm not quite sure. I think maybe, if anything, I think the show times changed. 5:15, 7, and 8:30 is the times that I'm seeing, which I'm not sure exactly how much difference that was between last year. It is an amazing event. The Candlelight Processional held at the America Gardens Theater in Epcot. It's free to see, but it is very popular and does garner a long wait line. Sometimes people waiting for the early shows at like 5:15 won't get into that show, but will get into the 7. So you're literally waiting quite a bit of time in line. Now, to avoid that, they do have dinner packages that you can do for lunch and dinner. And depending on when you make your reservation at which which restaurant, determines which of the shows you would see. So like if you would be eating early, I believe you get the earlier shows or something of that effect. I don't remember exactly how it works because it's been quite a while since we've done it, but it is an amazing show. It's the Christmas story of Jesus, and it's with an orchestra and a choir, and very moving, very touching story. 50-piece live orchestra and a celebrity narrator. And speaking of the celebrity narrators, I'll just go over a couple of them. You have Josh Gad, of course, which is the voice of from Frozen, Olaf. Nico Santos, which is new. Chrissy Metz, I'm not sure who that is. Whoopi Goldberg. Titus Burgess, which is new. Brendan Fraser. Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, he's new. Returning favorite Gary Sinise will be in December the 15th and the 16th. Neil Patrick Harris, of course. Pat Sajak, Gloria Estefan. Edward James Olmos will be there for Christmas. He'll be there the 24th, 25th, and 26th. Sterling K. Brown. And then Jodie Benson is the 29th to the 30th of December. Again, you can go to Disney's website for all the actual dates. But actually, that's kind of sad. And I kind of knew that. My trip for my wife and I, will be arriving on December 31st. We're not going to any parks that day because it is New Year's. We're trying to see if we can see the fireworks from outside from our hotel. Just depends on where our hotel, the room that we are assigned, if we get a good room. Um, but yeah, we'll probably be missing most of the holiday events, which I'm fine with. We've been there before for Christmas, and we've done all the holiday events. There'll still be decorations up and stuff, but the actual Christmas offerings at Epcot, the festival of the holidays with the food offerings and things of that nature that are offered that time, we'll be missing out on. But yeah, so the candlelight processional, you can go onto the website and check out the exact dates when you're going to be there. And if you want to look into going, again, I can help you with a package trip to Disney, help you book your dining reservations, including if you would like to do the candlelight processional dinner package, I can help you out with that. Get you all squared away with that stuff. And of course, the prices are definitely up there. They're a little bit more than most of the dining. But if you would prefer to do lunches or even breakfasts, I think you can actually do. I'm looking here. You can actually do like breakfast at Akershus, breakfast at the Garden Grill. That's really the only two. They're a little bit cheaper than doing the dinners. So yeah. And actually the lunches are a little bit less expensive than the dinners. So yeah, so we can look at that. We can help you guys with that. Let's see what else in. Closures are coming to Animal Kingdom. So during the D23 Expo, they did announce that Dino Land was going to be torn down and remodeled, and a new Indiana Jones attraction was going to be taking over Dinosaur. Like how I said that, Dinosaur, the ride. So yeah, so starting in early January, Chester and Hester's, there's no Chester and Hester's anymore, but the Triceratops Spin, which is like the Kitty Dumbo ride, and then also that whole little area right there where they have the Midway games, and you play games and you win prizes and stuff. All that will be starting to close in mid-January permanently. But I think Dinosaur is still going to stay open for the time being. So if some of those attractions you're looking to do, I would definitely plan to go visit Disney World before then, if those are things that you really must see before they go away permanently. Also, there was another announcement they made. I'm trying to think of it. It's on the top of my head right here, tip of my tongue. In regards, oh yeah, another big refurbishment, and it's going to be a long one, is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. So again, I think in mid January, like around the 8th, I believe it is. Again, check Disney's website for the exact date, but I think it's the 8th. Big Thunder Mountain will be closed for an entire year. So, if you're a Big Thunder Mountain Railroad lover and you want that last minute trip to see it before it goes away for a year, let me know. And again, I can help you plan that last minute trip, get you some discounts. But luckily, my wife and I, our trip will be right before that. So, because that is one of our favorites, is Big Thunder Mountain. So yeah, we'll get to see it one last time before it closes for a good long time. Hoping that maybe some of the elements that they have at Disneyland will be coming to Disney World, such as like the explosions in the little mine tunnel. That would be neat if we would get those, projections and that sort of stuff. I'm guessing it's just more routine maintenance on the track. They haven't not announced exactly what was going on or what they would be doing. But yeah, They did announce some more information on the Disney Cruise Lines. I believe it's the Adventure, the one that is out of Singapore. They did announce some more information about that one today. Um, I saw some renderings of there's going to be a roller coaster, kind of like the one that I want to say Carnival has a roller coaster on one of their ships. The Mardi Gras, maybe? The Jubilee? I can't remember. But there's going to be like one of those single rail single rail roller coasters. They look like there was going to be some kind of spinning ride and maybe even some go-karts. So that thing's going to be really cool, but unfortunately you'd have to fly to Singapore to get on this one. There's no indication that this one, maybe down the line might cruise USA, but this is mostly for an audience, in that area, around the Singapore area, an Asian market. There we go. Yeah, so that was some interesting information. You can always check Disney Cruise Line for exact details on on that sort of stuff. Yeah, and speaking of cruises, um, Royal Caribbean just announced a couple of days ago that they are reimagining. I guess you could say it's not really they're imagining. They're not Imagineers, but they're redesigning Costa Maya, the port of Costa Maya, which I have been to myself when we did the Harmony cruise earlier this year. And I didn't really realize that Costa Maya is not actually a town, but basically just a cruise destination that the cruise lines and the government of Mexico created. I had really not any idea about that. And I want to say the same thing for Labadee in Haiti. Labadee is just a cruise destination, from what I understand. It's not a real city or a real, it's a man-made place, just like Costa Maya. And so basically what Royal Caribbean is doing is they're buying Costa Maya and they are making a perfect day at Mexico. So if you're familiar with Royal Caribbean's private island, perfect day at Coco Cay, where they have the water slide and the beaches and, the hammocks and the bungalows and all that stuff. Well, they're making one like that. And it's going to be perfect day at Mexico. And that's basically going to be for Royal Caribbean guests. And it'll be a private little island area. I guess you could call it island, but it's not really an island, but private area. And it's going to be Costa Maya. So basically Costa Maya is being bought by Royal Caribbean. So that's not going to be open until I think 26 or 27. But that's going to be amazing for me personally and anybody else that will be cruising out of Galveston. Because most of the time Royal Caribbean, Galveston, you're looking at Western Caribbean cruises which go to Mexico. Most of the time there are no Bahamian cruises out of Galveston just because of the location more west. The ones that are more east, like Florida, those are the ones that tend to have more of the Bahama cruises. Excuse me. So that is some interesting information and something to look forward to in the future. Anything else? I'm trying to think. Looking over my notes. The Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree restaurant is reopening at Disneyland. Actually, there's some discounts available for Disneyland in the spring if you guys are looking. Universal is still on progress with Epic Universe to open up next year sometime. Lots of progress going on there. Of course, with the hurricane, most places in Florida had to shut down, work and that sort of thing for a couple of days, and a lot of stuff was not necessarily damaged, but waterlogged, and take them a couple of days to get back in order. So they were pushed back a few days. That's gonna mess them up in the long run. So yeah, that's it really. For information that I have for you this week. Uh, it was mostly the podcast was mostly, you know, about me not going on my trip, which I was very much bummed. I mean, it was literally like 3 days and we were getting ready to go. And then that hurricane, Milton, came in and, you know, we decided not to go. We could have went, but we were still nervous whether or not the airport would be open to receive us, and then once we got there, if there was going to be any kind of mess up or delay with like transportation, taking Ubers or whatever to the hotel. So we pushed it back. Now we're going for New Year's, which will be good. It'll be a lot cooler weather for sure. But last time we went to Disney during Christmas, we ended up wearing shorts most of the time. So go figure. But I guess I'm rambling on. I do appreciate you listening, hanging out with me. I should put up a new podcast soon. I'm trying to keep it, on a semi-regular basis. As I mentioned, I'm going to try to get my daughter maybe to come on when we have some time soon. And we'll discuss maybe day by day our cruise on the Harmony of the Seas that we did back in April already. It's been that long. My mom and dad actually have a cruise, a Royal Caribbean cruise that we're not going on in November, actually, in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They're going on their cruise. So it was actually a free cruise that they earned through the casino on the ship. So hopefully if they earn another one, maybe we'll get to go on that one with them next year. So we'll have another cruise trip report maybe to do if that happens. But anyway, so please like and subscribe to this podcast. I also have a YouTube page that I put videos up from my adventures on my travels. Fairy Tale Journeys by Todd Bro. Please send this out to friends that maybe would like to listen to this podcast and find out information about upcoming things with Disney and Universal and Royal Caribbean and that sort of stuff. But I would appreciate it. Any feedback you can send me. Email is in the description of the show notes. So thank you very much. Stay tuned for the next episode, and may the Force be with you always. Well, we have come to the end of this podcast. If you would like help booking and planning your next vacation, please don't hesitate to reach out. I can provide you with a free, no-obligation quote. I can be reached via email at ftjbytb@gmail.com or call 337-380-0111. Thank you, and may the Force be with you always.